Turn.
Okay, you guys are unmuted.
You should have been required to come back and bring us all lobster.
Rose.
I do. I can.
Human urban community meeting or. Ellen's still eating lobster, meeting her wherever she is. The first on the agenda is. The NICEAG conference resolution. And I wasn't there. So I'm not familiar with any of them. So, on group 8. Anyone want to speak on any of these?
Test May when she gets in here. Test May. Tess is here for Andrea. I think they're all issues that we talked about in the past.
Yeah. Really interesting.
I know on the number 8, they were talking about trying to get the 50-50 split again from the state because it's costing the counties too much money for the housing the homeless. Right now, the counties are responsible for the biggest portion. At one time, it was 50-50, but it went in favor of the state like everything else.
That's like everything state kind of.
Yeah.
And we've actually seen several homelessness grants coming out of DSS.
And homeless is not, and I always like to tell everybody, homeless is not the person you see pushing the cart down the street with everything in that. That is not what they're talking basically about. What they're talking about is somebody gets into a dispute overnight. And this is more falls under the domestic, but say you get a divorce and all of a sudden you get kicked out of your house, now you're homeless. Now they look for this county to put you up for the night or for the time being. That's what you deem homeless.
Temporary.
Yeah, because you're homeless.
I'm just looking at Rachel to see if she has anything to add.
Yes, that is correct. The homeless definition is pretty broad. And we do have a couple of grants and we've got some contracts that we update that. It's putting people in a movement displaced for whatever reason. We just don't- And your average citizen is not, as you said, it's not a person pushing a car, sitting on a bridge. It's, average citizens that are down on their lawn for whatever reason, and they just don't always.
Okay. Pat, have you got any comments on any of the resolutions?
Yes, you may want to grab an agenda over in the window, so because there are resolutions on the agenda that came out of the NICEAG conference last week. A lot of them are youth hero,
Preschool.
yeah, but maybe you've heard around the water cooler. Although this group has heard the arguments in favor of its resolutions
For years,
yeah. So, and keeping in mind that the counties each had to pass on before they got to NICEAG, and then from NICEAG, they went through their standing committees, they went through their resolutions committees, so. They've been pretty well vetted. They've had conversations with state officials over them.
I mean. Sounds like something we would want to be.
But I think we've supported all of these in the past numerous times.
So,
Motion. Yep, I'll make that motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Supervisor Robertson, is there any discussion on monthly wage resolution? I believe they're all probably beneficial to the county. To be enacted, which probably. All right, there's no further discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay, veteran services, Tony. You're up. First item is the Dwyer report. Yes.
We ran, in the month of August, we ran 9 events, 4 coffee hours to Brown County, 2 events at Beaver Hollow, and then 2 horse riding days at Wolcott Farms, and our annual picnic at Charter Trail. We saw a total of 380 veterans. I included, Charter Trail pictures. Ready to get to look at those? All right, good. Yeah, we got that car field and 56 pickup one. Beautiful, dirt. They all seem to really like our shirts. I'm happy we're able to support a veteran-owned business. I don't know why I wouldn't fit shirts, both he and his wife are veterans. They run that. And we were covered a total of $12,318.38 disability and pension claims for our veterans in August. And with that, the only negative to our new location is that the amount of walk-ins is almost like a parade at times. So we're trying to come up with something to discourage walk-ins, because that number certainly would have been higher. We're having more time to do the research, things that have been settled, as well as just one claim alone, 33 records, sometimes over 1,000 pages. Take many hours, sometimes one claim 30 minutes, other time 5, 6, 7 hours you're working on one claim. We're trying to find a way to discourage walk-ins. There are many fellow veterans that by doing it, you can't do right by them. And one thing I would like to mention is, I'm sure all of you have seen commercials for the Canyon with lawsuits. When you are friends of veterans that fall in that category, each station between 53 and 87, please discourage them from the lawsuits. Because if they get $5,000 for kidney cancer, well, the VA, every presumptive, so they get they get money from the VA. The VA will withhold that money until it surpasses that $5,000 or whatever they're receiving in the lawsuit. So really, the only purpose of this is to put money in the pockets of
Attorneys.
attorneys, and big surprise, Congress, their attorney will be just helping their friends. Well, so please pass that along, okay? And the next is for the grant that we receive every year from New York State. It's normally $10,000, and it's up to $25,000 now would be for the year 2022. And so I passed the resolution that was. It's, even though in the future it's kind of backdated, it's no, I'm 22, I'm talking to the answer before this, and I was thinking because when we received it, it's 23, but for 22, and last year we didn't receive the money until early mid-December, the 10,000 came in.
okay, so the resolution from last year says April 1, 2021 through March 31, 2022.
I stand corrected, yeah, that'd be from the same dates, just 1 year.
Yep.
1 year behind.
And the amount is in an amount not to exceed 25,000?
25, that's, yeah, this is the first time. that we did.
Minimum amount.
Well, that's the set amount, it won't be any less, it'll be any,
Amount, 25 grand.
yes. And we start with.
No, $1 question. The contracts.
I'm working on that now, so I have a copy of everything from last year, so I'm working on that now.
Do you know the word?
I printed off the letter today, I don't have it, I'll email you.
Okay, you and I will work offline then, so we can get what you need into units.
Okay.
Okay.
And they said they sent that out a few months ago to our mother's mill, but I never received it. They emailed it out, but for some reason, OPS office at all, we don't just, they received my emails, but nothing of them came through, and I remember that being the case last year as well.
We'll talk offline.
Okay.
It might have gotten stuck in the Barracuda. You're impressed that I knew something about the filters. It's the Barracuda. The guy. Oh, of course.
Okay,
Do we need a vote on that?
yes. Any motion? To accept the grant? Thank you,
Behind the
Supervisor.
flowers. Can't see it, but.
So there's no
They're pretty
further discussion,
great.
all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. This day in history, veteran.
This, the board of supervisors meeting on 11 October is the exact date of founding the Daughters of the American Revolution in 1890. And when Congress gave fifth star to General Washington in 1976. So no generals were ranked above them anymore, or the past was kind of retroactive to that. And so I'm gonna have that as a local tie-in to our veteran of the month, great-great-grandfather, and we believe great-great-great-grandfather fought for the American Revolution. A little about on that. And I talked to Janice, and she's active, the Daughters of the Revolution, we're hoping to have some representatives from there for the board meeting. When that works out. And our veteran of the month, the great-grandson is a friend of the county, Sheriff Campbell. We are veteran of the month. He was gonna come in anyways because with the local tie-in, the veteran of the month. And emergency procedures, so I called him up, he said, I don't do that. So it'll be there.
That's cool.
Then picture, we already know over there, something like that. The free haircuts on the 5th of October, in the basement of the Ag Center, will be free haircuts in the beauty department program, Genesee Valley Posties. And this is something that will be the first Wednesday of every month through the end of the year. And if enough veterans come out, we'll continue this through May, the fiscal year. Hopefully, we get a lot of people taking advantage of that, but I want to do that. The Revolutionary Soldier Tombstone Ceremony. And right there, working with Nick Fisher, this is for company generation removed. And he's got a handful until the end of this month. And then he's going to settle on a date open for the second or third Friday in October. And we'll have contact the press and all that. Do a nice, it's already in place, the concrete is donated. And so now we're just picking the date and we'll open for nice weather for that date. The next is the proclamation I worked on for National Disability Employment Month, Awareness Month. It's working on disability claims. My department thinks they should probably be nice to have this proclamation. And as you see, I talked about the VA in there. I talked about the VA programs for helping disabled veterans make gainful employment, as well as a little bit outside VA for the history of how it's helping people with disabilities obtain work will be off the public bill. So I'm hoping Wyoming County holds on us to show our support for disabled folks who wish to have a meaningful employment occupation.
Thank you, Supervisor Roberts. Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carries. October committee meeting in Beaver Hollow, I believe. So it's
we're currently in litigation for, with them, so I will not be attending, and I'm
Thursday.
not in favor of holding a meeting at their location, because it's going to substantially impact my town. And the county, because their assessment's based on my lawsuit.
Depending on what we want to do, I talked to Kathy Snyder he was, very excited to have it there, she said we'd be our guest for, they provide money, and so we do decide to go again and hang out as well, as that day, there are restrictions. But Gerald and I would take a ride out there before the 25th, and we'll over on the other side of it.
Yeah, you get tough neighbors, but there's nothing going on.
No, but we assess their value, so that will trickle down
Okay.
to your rate.
They're fighting when you're assessed.
Correct. They're assessed at 5.5 and they want to be assessed at 2. So that's the difference between 51 and 18. So it's a big chunk of change difference. When they've had a pilot for the last, God knows how many years in a row, anyway. So I don't think it's a good idea that I'm not coming, but.
The fault line right now, what we should do. Report them. I mean, we're fighting our, technically we're fighting our bill that too. In a roundabout way.
There's nothing that says we have to do it right now. We can wait till after.
Yeah, that, I mean, that would be fine with me, I just,
I understand it's, a good feeling move with the veterans, you know,
Right.
it's a positive to support the veterans too, so.
They're right now.
Right, it's a,
but there's motivation there too, it's not,
what?
there's a little motivation in that too, they would like to think that's bigger for their corporate structure, so. And I don't have any hard feelings if you want to hold it there, I just wanted to. So whatever. The committee would like.
What's the committee on? Yeah, sorry, spoke outside.
Certainly late.
Yeah, we'll be there that day for our second day of the month there. And that's, it would be a cost to the county, you know, for the month for holding it there.
Only under other programs is being,
Yeah, I think, yes, yeah, for the second time, thank you for reminding me. Supervisor, they had soldiers in Fort Drum there a couple weeks ago for the second time. They work with the DOD and the big 3 or 4 staffs that they have it to where they come down for 3-4 days, they go over. But on the mental side, because it's all NCO, E5s and E6s take over this, and most of them are combat veterans. So you do this to help them unwind, process and run their inner problems before, you know, things get worse. You know, or where the veteran suicide rate is pretty damn high in the states. So we're trying to do their part to lower that. So I know there's some on the other side of it, but from my office's perspective, they're very good with them.
They have a contract. They have a contract for that service, correct? It's a paid service, they're not.
But not the other way,
Right,
it's nice.
nothing that they're doing is necessarily a volunteer situation, they have they're getting a paycheck at the end of it.
It's very nice site for them. And you can pavilion on the lake down there, and luncheon in there, or dinner with the dance and stuff, but we've got used to having been doing.
Yeah, the facility's beautiful.
We have another event we could attend somewhere else. Take a place of that. A different month or,
Even before we were on,
for the veterans.
Right. Well, that's, the most consistent is Beaver Hollow, Little Conference, and then, the coffee house, the different veterans, will strong count. You the one there every month.
They still doing higher ground.
No, it was higher ground, but they pulled out the main guy, Trey Randall, to the Chadwick Veteran One Stop Center in Buffalo. So there's only kind of building works before higher ground was after their grant, through June, that's what we took over the last half of the year.
What's higher ground?
It was another veterans programming.
That's a national organization based out of Montana.
I think they also provided a lot of mental support.
They do, yes, and the replacement for Trey is not as, I mean, she's on Trey, so that's when we really got to step in with the little boy there, so I have events there. We go over different type of wellness, whether it's mental wellness or nutrition, body wellness, workout regimens, they have it at the gym to help us learn different workouts with their, whatever problem you may have in your back or whatever. So it's been very helpful for those that have it.
There's no one when you need her.
Well, if this, like I said, Chairman, if the committee wants to meet at that and support the program, I have no qualms with what the veterans services are receiving at Beaver Hollow. I just don't feel in good conscience that I should attend.
Totally understand.
So if you would like to hold it there in support of what they're doing for our veterans, I'm more than happy to commend it. I just won't physically be in attendance. It's hard wearing two hats. I mean, I definitely want to support our veterans and the outcome that they're getting and the services they're getting, because God bless anybody that wants to step into that line of work in one way or the other and defend this nation with the chaos that we have right now. And I don't know that as a mother, I would be able to sleep at night if either of my children chose that road, but I'm very thankful for all that do and for the moms that stand behind them. But I just, the other side of it is, you know, I have to stand up for what my town believes and what my board is standing for. And it is not that location right now until that is settled through the system. So I won't attend, but I'm, you know, not at all, would not flatten your tires if you all decided that's where you want to have your next meeting. Please go ahead.
Oh, are you going?
The lunch is probably gonna be really good, you know.
It is, it's very healthy, but you can't tell, so.
Yep, they,
That's kind
I've had lunch there a couple times. They have really good stuff. So, okay. I'll meet you at the driveway.
All right. And I guess. On the best of times, but we support the veterans program. That's there's clear projection. That's that part.
They let me know if you're, we have a head comment, they hear stuff, yeah, I saw.
What kind?
Well, we're gonna shoot for 11 or maybe slightly thereafter.
Oh, that'll be hard.
We got that Supervisor King?
We haven't got out of here. It depends on the discussions that happen in executive session that
Tony and I have that conversation.
unless you should put it closer to 12, so you do your lunch and then you either eat and run the meeting at the same time or eat and then.
To the meeting afterwards.
Okay, so lunch usually a 4-course lunch.
Well, if the time changes, we won't be shocked, right?
Right. But they'll have to know.
Well, Tony and I are gonna have to go over there and we'll have to talk to Ellen.
What they eat. I don't-
It varies, but it's another.
Let me know if I can.
You probably could tell us You and I will talk because this will be an opportunity for them to make you something I could say.
Yeah, they're very accommodating. Administration.
Okay, move the meeting, now all you gotta do is advertise. Meetings.
Right, we're gonna advertise that it's over there, right?
So I don't advertise, so you think you would advertise on the meeting because many times. And I do wind up on your agenda. But we don't spend money on advertising. A change in venue or in. Right. Because they're committee meetings.
Well, we post them all in the beginning of the year anyway.
Okay. Update on the.
Yes, yeah. I met with Mike Anderson, we picked out a location and then alongside the creek for the ag center, 4 acres we have there. On both sides, and it'll be on Thursday during the committee, I'll be here with them. Go over, we put out quotes for the public, and then this pavilion will be through the water to be for veterans. People retirement flags and, you know, little barbecue, there, grill and stuff, so. Where will be paying for this, not the county, I want to make that clear. And we have enough funds to cover it based on what we think the price will be. Like I said, Thursday, I'll be here with them, and they'll have more. Then the road rename, there was someone in the Pedro's office. Who tried in the corner. We're working on road renaming for right now for 3 different Corporal Bill Bailey, PFD Jack Anderson, Warren and Stage Third across the metal, which is just below middle honor. He was running attributed higher to have been military distance. And PFD Jack is all 3 members still in action in Vietnam. And recently, the 10th of 4th, me personally, extra vested in, I got to talk to the daughter. It's Herman Davis, who was killed in World War II, 3 months before his daughter was born. So he came in an office for her husband, who recently deceased, and she paid after her father. She didn't only saw the picture one time, didn't know much of anything. We were her mother not, but we able to talk about it. And so then I showed her James Dillon's book, the World War II book, starting from the county. And I gave her my copy. So recommended we learn a lot more in the center of the county historian's office. We have a lot of papers on it, including an original which has his favorite picture. She was very touched by that. And so I'm hoping with her approval to get something for named for her father, so she never knew. But now just learning that 77 years later.
Paragraph on those 3.
But then
Can you send me a paragraph like email on the 3?
I will.
And then put it in the minutes.
I told James, Dylan about it, he was moved pretty deeply, that the book is making such, positive reaction to people. Really, he's still around, appreciate all that the book is still doing. That's what I had to that part. And then, the last thing, on the 28th of October, the American Legion National Commander is visiting our area. And asking permission to go around and if granted, payroll will be on my conference's budget. I have a bowl of that still left from the American Legion Conference being canceled next January due to COVID.
It's the same thing, really.
Same thing, right? Yes.
So you don't need permission, as long as it's budgeted.
Okay, yeah, I have a budget line for that. But would I be allowed to offer a ride to any veteran in our van for this? I got the congregation.
I think that's what it's for.
Great, you're doing the driving. I think it was just the issue of letting the drive.
Okay.
Right, do you take them along?
Yeah, we had under some DA one, if I had driver. Second to that. All right, good. Very good. That's all I have. Any questions?
Questions?
All right, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Got numbers.
Numbers, yep. So ISAC, we have 51 participants, 43 active. PCA 1, which is like housekeeping, 17, PCA 2, 16, PERS units, 10. I do have updated numbers on our wait list and all that stuff, but I'll do it at the end. Respite, 24 participants, 20 active, none for daycare. 2 PCA 1, 3 PCA 2, 10 overnight, 15 lifeline, 49 private pay. Do you guys have any questions on these programs or numbers? Like, is there anything? Okay. Unmet is another grant. We get 13 participants, 11 active, 1 PCA 1, 3 PCA 2, 7 PERS buttons.
I'm sorry, is that a new grant? I don't remember seeing that on here before.
Unmet is not new, but
It's never been on there.
Okay, I wasn't, I just
I
hadn't.
think that it's short for unmet needs.
right, yeah, so 3-ish years ago, maybe longer than that. We had to report our wait list to the state and they vouched for us to get more dollars to address the needs that are being unmet. So the wait list. So we get, I don't know, it's like 40 grand for the unmet needs, and basically who we provide services to under that grant is people who are over income for our normal OFA programs, but cannot afford their own services. You know, maybe they're being taken care of or they're private paying their own help. So we help with that, and then we also use it to link people from, you know, so if you have respite, so you need your mom, you're having surgery, your mom's primary caregiver, you can't take care of her. We can provide respite care for her up to $1,500, whether it's at Cloisters or at the hospital. And if you need longer than a week, we can use unmet needs dollars to attach on the end of that $1,500 so you can get your full recovering. And when I was here last time, it's probably good I don't come here, because whenever I do, I'm like, we need to add more information on this. You don't want to sit here all day for me, but when I came here last time, I thought it was weird that we weren't reporting on this grant because we are serving people out of it. And so that's sort of why it's on there now, because we're paying for services out of it, and it's 40 grand. So yeah, that's the unmet needs. And we are using some of our unmet needs dollars along with ISAP in order to hire the aides we're looking to get in January. So some of the unmet needs dollars will be used for that. So then our Alzheimer's grant, 54 clients to date being served, and then home delivered meals, 307 active, 260 meals today. Our congregate meal sites are still in a sad state of affairs. So we have obviously Arcade open and Pine Lounge. Arcade, we're having 13 per day, which it's on Tuesdays, so once a week. And Pine Lounge, we're still averaging about 43. We have not been able to hire, no one has applied for our site manager for the congregate meals. So we can't open up any of the other sites because we don't have anyone to run it. So that's kind of where we stand with those right now. We've been looking into doing more restaurant dining options. And seeing if that's something, but it's just not every restaurant can facilitate 43 people once a week for lunch. So we're still looking at it. But that's where congregate meals is still kind of sad. I did have, okay, so I have the wait list numbers. So as of right now, our current wait list, we have 13 waiting for ISAP services, 4 on a wait list for respite and for unmet. And those are all waiting for age services, PCA 1 or PCA 2. We're contracting with home care and hospice, we're paying the Medicaid rate, and we are almost not serving as many as we're serving right now. They did reach out to me to renegotiate our contract for our hourly rate come January. I presume they're going to be asking for more money than we're currently paying them.
The Medicaid rate went up twice in the past, like 3 months. It went up and was backdated, and then it went up for like August 1st, I think. So it has had a significant increase. We're paying right around $37 to $38 an hour right now with these 2 increases. Maybe they're gonna come and tell me they wanna pay us less. But, so that's just something we have kind of like in the wing. I had to write a letter of support for, I didn't have to, but I wanted to, for community action. They're applying for a restore grant that's to help people living in their homes with roofs and, you know, just kind of upkeep. And so when I did the letter, I was giving some numbers, and so I brought ours up for this year. So our year actually starts April 1st. That's kind of our state year when we redo all of our numbers. So far to date, we have served 460 people under all of our different programs. 261 of them live alone. So I broke out by ages. So we have, of those 460 that have been served since April 1st, 5 of them have been over 100 years old. 75 of them are from 90 to 99. 174 of them are 80 to 89. 129 are 70 to 79, and 77 are 60 to 69. So really our 80 and over is like well over half the people served. That's what, 150, 170? That doesn't make sense. 270. No, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's not what I'm here for. They have, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of interesting to see like how the ages are broken down, who are really getting our services. And it's really the 80 and up for the most part. Right, they're a hard group to serve sometimes, so you know, we need it.
I'm not saying it too loud.
All I have for office for aging.
Okay, youth bureau then.
Yep, so youth bureau, early intervention, we have 68 active, 6 awaiting an evaluation. In preschool, we have 89 active, 19 center-based.
Questions on your own intervention?
So this contract is for speech therapy. It's another speech therapist, just like all the rest of them. It's just a new provider.
Supervisor Roach. Any discussion? All in favor? And all carried. Some discussion on
I honestly think this is amend resolution number 22-317. For the reasons that Andrea stated here.
She wants to change where the funding goes, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I get to amend.
Because when she first proposed it, he laid out this. And then as time went on, her focus turned to a Leadership Wyoming for Youth program.
So what do we need to do, a motion to amend?
Yeah, amended resolution number 22-317. To the use of funds for the Leadership Wyoming Youth Program, which will exist to 8 sessions.
I'll make that motion.
was a motion? Any discussion?
I have a youth for the program if you want to.
Pardon?
I have a youth for that program. Learn how to lead and not follow.
Is he a senior?
No, he's a sophomore. He almost was one of the homeless and whatever other grants last. There was a military school close.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. I have an appropriation.
Yeah, so this is all, I talked to Steve before I came, just in case, but this is all a grant. I guess they got a grant to do something with sports. So they're giving it to the Warsaw by to facilitate that. So it's just putting the line.
We're going to and from, is that a to and from, or is that?
That would be a to and a with, it appears.
Yeah.
So the expenditure should be the top one. Use sports grants, and the bottom number should be the revenue. Bureau OCMS grants funds.
I'll move it.
Okay. Right, motion by Supervisor King. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Anything else? No. Any questions? OFA or zero? Well, you're free.
Okay, have a great day.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll look for it.
Okay, so how do you want me to do this? The first three items are overnight trails.
Okay, we'll do all three of them together.
The first one is for the commissioner to go to Lake George, which is an annual meeting. And there's no cost for the hotel, just for meals and gas. The second one is for 3 people to go to the NIRIPIA conference, which hasn't been held in 2 years, so they're finally going back to it again. And the third one is to send somebody for child support, new worker to child support for training.
This is an additional person. There was travel approved. And Ellen gave prior approval on the third one to add someone.
The questions on 1 through 3. Supervisor Krieger. There's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Position filled.
Okay, the next 2 items are to fill positions. The first position was the account clerk. My unit. Lauren Barnes just gave us notice about 7 days ago. We were lucky to be able to get it on this agenda so we could fill the position. The second position is for social services principal program specialist. This is the result of Susan Patrick retiring as the senior worker in that unit. And this is a backfill. They promoted somebody into that position of senior, and this is the backfill. The opening that was created for the backfill.
The resolution says it's because Amber Stackhouse is retiring. She's the backfill.
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't the program specialist. This is the principal. Yes, Amber is retiring the end of the month. She's retiring her last physical day working for the department is the 28th.
Motion for Warren by
I'll make a motion.
motion by Supervisor McCormick. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we have some Professional service contracts.
Yes, item 6, there are several contracts on here. There's 13 Short Street, Twin Lakes Mobile Homes, J Till, Humphrey Howells Apartments, and Jennifer Walker. These contracts are for rental assistance for the homeless. It's our CARES grant, federal funding that pays back rent, it pays current rent, and it also gives incentives to landlords. And these are 6 new landlords in the sign up.
Supervisor Grainger. Any discussion? All in favor? Oh. There you go. Professional service contract.
Okay, the next contract is with Elizabeth, which is a Baker provider, and this is a WMS contract, and we pay that whatever the state contract rates are.
We will do 7 and 8 together.
Okay, 8 is Cataracts Committee Action. That is a residential facility for domestic violence clients. And we currently have or have had somebody in there, so we need to contract with them so that we can pay for the services they provided.
I have a motion by Supervisor Ryder, is there any discussion? 7 or 8? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. No resolution.
So. Number 9 is for self-direct. This is the contract that is for the helpline for, I guess it's a, you press the button. If you call and need help.
Oh, the response, those personal stuff, things, yeah.
And we had to update it for the new address.
That's what I thought.
And we also had to make some changes, the state required some changes to the existing contract, so that it had their format, so we had to revise the contract.
Supervisor Grainger volunteered. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. Procurement cards.
Yes. We would like permission to procure a procurement card for Michael Drum, who is the new director of services, and the amount of that's.
When I first read it, I looked at it quick, I thought it was $1 million. What the heck's he buying?
And we asked for that limit because sometimes we have to procure like airlines or things like that. Sometimes we spend foster care or pay foster care, have them transported back. So usually the director of services have a little bit higher level than a regular employee, so that they're able to put those expenses on a procurement card.
We had a few of those. Back for us, I think. I have one by Supervisor Rose. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. On the proclamation.
Yes, proclamation for October to be Domestic Violence Awareness Month. You guys all, you can read it or is it?
We could torture you and say, read it, but.
Supervisor Grainger. That's. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Monthly report.
Okay. Look at the monthly report. There's just a couple of things. Pretty much our caseloads are staying pretty consistent. But a couple of notes are the Medicaid caseload. If you look at that, that is increased over July's rate. But if you look at the previous year, it's increased substantially. So our Medicaid caseload is going up. The only good thing about the Medicaid caseload is we still, at this point, still have the Medicaid cap. So the county has held harmless at just over $5 million. So regardless of how much it costs for the Medicaid expenditures, at this point, the county is still held harmless up to $5.something million. Also, the safety net caseload, it looks like it went up in June and then started to decline a little bit in July and August, which is normal pattern. But overall, from 2021, we are still up cases, and the safety net cases are what cost the county the most, because the county only receives 29% reimbursement, and that is the cases that are generally the homeless population as well. So they cost a lot more per person than the family cases do. And also, if you look at our applications, our transaction report, applications have gone up significantly in August. And if you look at the previous year, they're even up even more. So, and the applications are overall assistance. So anybody coming in for medication, services, all of our applications for services in our department have gone up significantly. And it could be a case of now that COVID is starting to somewhat decline, if you want to call it that. Some of the assistance that's out there to help people is starting to wane. So I think that that could be a reason why we're seeing that big increase in application services. And that was all I had for the monthly reports. I didn't see anything else.
Any questions? Rachel?
Oh, right, it's a great day.
No, we can do this because it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So. The only other thing we have left is, grant application process for prime worker housing program for family action. Almost $400,000, so. I believe we had. Sorry. Interested in
And it's straight up pass through. 100%.
Oh, one and two together.
In no.
And no. I have a motion by Supervisor King. Is there any discussion on this?
What's that grant? Is it gonna cover rent or building a complex? What is the grant going to cover? Or
think it
Mike
was
not reading it.
Building, wasn't it? Renovations and
Right.
building?
Yeah, was this the COVID one, was they could have housing where they could separate
Yes.
Yep.
better filtrations and
And just
air and.
upgrade or if it's
More bathrooms.
Right, so that if they had to isolate, they had separate
think.
facilities.
That was my understanding. It was like. The days.
Dormitories.
Yeah.
Right.
Where migrant workers coming up to pick the tables.
I might be familiar with that.
You might be.
Mayor with that?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Well, yeah, this is the.
I think they. We should apply for a million, but this is the award. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't remember either.
Was something that James was working on with Rosie.
What's your, for knowledge, they're on.
Mhm.
We had to have the second, and then we have to have the second public hearing or something.
Mhm.
They didn't like the first one.
Yeah.
They never touch H on
It's good they got it.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay, this is a good thing. So I have a motion by Supervisor King, if there's no further discussion, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Carried. Is there anything else to come before the next building? If not, we're adjourned.
That's all. I don't want to build, I got my first. It's the funding that helped me remodel my own building.
So what's up there, Doug?
Yes.
What's up?
So if I gotta spend 20,000 on my building, do I get to 20
So you
or
can do
part of that 20?
That I don't know, but it was monies to, again, you know, like you know,
Anyway, yeah.
you know what your pants do for, like, they don't like those types of things anymore.
So what's going on there, Louis?
Whether the clientele take care of them or not is irrelevant. I'm old enough that I can remember those camps.
Yeah.
Not as well as you, I'm sure.
Oh, the migrant camps? Heck, I used to pick potatoes.
So did I.
First year, you got 50 cents a bag, took two.
My father thought it was a good idea.
So you got I can remember, I think it was 15 cents a bushel.
Yeah, damn buckets went in the bag and you got 50,
Two bucks.
but I did it. Then I moved to the harvester though, you know, when I got,
You went to big
I
time.
went big time when I got 16. I could go on the harvester.
They got 15 cents a bag. You were breaking bank.
Vanessa, how old is she? This is not developed yet, but I spent a lot of time telling parents
Last night,
and learning it.
I Googled searched military schools in New York. Now that he's smaller than me, he thinks that he rules the roost and
Really does, doesn't it? He thinks.
he almost stopped sucking air, I'll tell you. I physically wrestled with it, yeah.
You have to give your son more time than you gave your daughter. It's just the way it is.
Well, and that's what he said to me last night when I was talking with him about chosen language. And I'm like, don't use that in my house. And he goes, that's right, I'm not perfect like Emily. And I'm like, you just think she's perfect because she's not here for me to scream at. But you remember all the discussions.
I forgot about that.
But I will say girls are easier.
See, I can't judge.
Oh, at least she's still scared of me. I don't think I'm scared of me.
I can't judge. I have 3 boys.
Oh, yeah.
But based on my experience, many years,
Well, and they're just so opposite in personality and drive, and he's just